The village wasn't kind to rabbits. It was a place of clattering carts, barking dogs, and children who threw stones at anything that twitched its nose. Among the rabbits who lived on the edge of this noisy place was Lila Small, Greyford, and poor, while other animals in the village had something to trade: hens with their eggs, goats with their milk, even mice with their stolen crumbs. Lila had nothing. Her burrow was little more than a hole under a crooked fence. Her meals were scraps of dandelions and whatever wilted cabbage leaves rolled out of the market stalls at night, but still, she survived. Any winter evening, when the snow had melted into cold mud and the wind rattled the shutters of every cottage, Lila searched for food. Her belly ached, her fur clung damp to her sides, and her paws sank into the wet earth. She dug near the carrot patch that belonged to Old Man Bartow, the farmer who hated rabbits almost as much as he hated taxes. Lila expected nothing, just another night of empty soil, but her paws struck something firm. She tugged. The earth resisted, then yielded. Out came the strangest carrot she had ever seen. It glowed faintly, as if holding moonlight inside its skin. Its leaves shimmered silver, and the scent wasn't earthy but sweet like honey, like dreams. Hunger won. She raised it to her mouth, but just as her teeth grazed the skin, a voice whispered from the root itself, "One bite, one wish." Lila froze. Rabbits aren't known for bravery, but hunger makes the timid bold. "A wish?" she whispered. "Any wish?" The carrot gleamed in answer. Lila's stomach growled louder than the village dogs. Without thinking, she cried, "I wish for food just enough to fill my belly tonight." She nibbled the carrot, and suddenly the ground around her shivered. Up sprouted cabbages, lettuce, and fat carrots, their colors bright even in the dark. Lila gasped. For the first time in her life, she ate until she was full. That night, curled in her burrow, warm and heavy with food, she wept not from sadness, but from a happiness she had never tasted. The next morning, she ran back to the glowing carrot. It was smaller now, as if each bite shrank its power. But temptation gnawed harder than hunger ever had. Her next wish was simple. "I wish for a house, something better than a hole under a fence." With one bite, the ground trembled. A neat little cottage rose on the edge of the village, made of sturdy wood with a roof of moss and straw. Inside, soft hay lined the floor, and a fire crackled in a tiny stone hearth. Soon, the other animals noticed. The sparrows whispered from the rooftops, "How does poor Lila live in a cottage now?" The goats muttered, "She eats better than us." The farmer's dog snarled, "That rabbit has secrets." But Lila didn't care. She danced in her warm house, ears bouncing, paws thumping like a drum. With another nibble, she wished for clothes as fine as the village merchant's silks. Suddenly, she wore a green velvet cloak that brushed her tail and a golden ribbon for her ears. She pranced through the village square, and the children who once threw stones now gawked and envied. It was fun. Oh, how fun it was to no longer be the poorest rabbit scratching in the dirt. But wishes are tricky things. With her fine cloak, Lila strolled into the market. But now, instead of ignoring her, the farmer's dog barked and lunged. "That rabbit has stolen riches. Catch her." Children reached for her ribbon. Sparrows squawked her secrets. Envy had turned her invisible safety into a spotlight. Panicked, Lila fled to her burrow, but her burrow was gone, replaced by the cottage that now looked far too grand, too obvious, too lonely. That night, she sat by her glowing carrot, which was now half its size. Her velvet cloak felt heavy, her golden ribbon itched, and her stomach ached not from hunger, but from fear. "What good are wishes," she whispered, "if they make everyone hate me?" The carrot pulsed faintly as if listening. Lila held it close, ears drooping. She thought of her first meal, her warm hay bed, her cloak, her house, and how each joy had grown thorny with envy and danger. She took a deep breath. "Please," she said softly, "I wish not for more, but for enough. Enough food when I'm hungry, enough warmth when I'm cold, enough friends so I'm never alone." She bit the carrot one last time. The cottage faded, shrinking back into a burrow, but a burrow lined with soft hay. The velvet cloak dissolved into her own gray fur, but her fur shone healthy, thick, and warm. The golden ribbon vanished, but in its place, she felt the brush of friendly whiskers. Outside, rabbits from neighboring fields peeked in, drawn by some invisible thread. That night, for the first time, Lila didn't eat alone. The carrot's glow dimmed, then disappeared forever. It was gone, but its gift remained. Lila was still poor by the village's standards, just a rabbit in a burrow. But she was never hungry, never cold, never alone again. And if you passed through the village on a moonlit night, you might see a group of rabbits dancing in the meadow, their paws thumping a rhythm older than the village itself. At their center is Lila, ears tall, nose twitching, her laughter as bright as the moon. The farmer still grumbles about missing cabbages. The dog still growls. The children still throw stones sometimes. But Lila no longer hides because she learned the secret the wish carrot was always trying to teach. True wealth is not in gold or silk, but in enough. Enough food, enough warmth, enough love. And that is a treasure even envy cannot steal.